Welcome to Shania Studio. In this playlist you can watch crime stories from all over the world, where apart from gaining knowledge about crime stories in other parts of the world, it can also provide knowledge about, for example, the culture and habits of the people in that country. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel if you like our video. Thank you. She is a large woman, born in 1981. Her body is large but stiff, and a little antisocial. Her name is Jenelle Potter. Since she was a teenager, she is said to have suffered from type 1 diabetes. In fact, her entire body was once said to be paralyzed. She also had epilepsy several times. So she was easy to get sick. Well, her mother, Barbara Potter, also worked as an administrator for the HP company for quite a long time. While his father's name is Marvin Potter. People usually call him Buddy. So let's just call him Buddy. Buddy was an American military soldier who served in Vietnam. And after returning from his assignment in Vietnam, Buddy served as a secret agent for the CIA for several years, and then retired. After retiring, Jenelle's father and mother then moved the Potter family to a town on the outskirts of Tennessee in 2005. The name of the city is Mountain City, America. Because the air there is still fresh, there are still lots of rice fields. And may be a pleasant area for actual retirees. Jenelle has a younger sister named Christian Grover. However, Christy did not move to Mountain City, because many of her activities were carried out in the city. Finally, in Mountain City, they were just the three of them. Namely Jenelle and also her parents. Before we continue, support this channel by pressing the subscribe button, and also turning on the notifications. So that next time, for example, if I upload something exciting, you will be the first person to know. And maybe, as I said earlier, Jenelle is a bit of an antisocial person. Very stiff, and since graduating from high school, she has done most of her activities at home. Her world is the internet, playing in cyberspace or just helping her mother at home. Because of her health, Jenelle is also not working. She even said she couldn't drive a car. In America, it seems like not being able to drive a car has become a weakness. Why do I say that? Some of the cases I discuss emphasize that not being able to drive is a particular concern. So, for example, if someone says he is an introvert, he can't drive and likes to drink. Or there are also psychopaths who can't drive and are bipolar. It's as if not being able to drive is in line with the disease. Jenelle's life revolves around cyberspace, especially on Facebook. However, her parents are said to always monitor all her movements on Facebook. And it's true that Jenelle is aware that she is always being watched on Facebook, and using email. Until finally she met an administrator who worked at a pharmacy, not far from her house, because she often bought diabetes medicine. She was acquainted with Tracy Greenwell, who worked at a pharmacy. They then became friends on Facebook too. And often chat at the pharmacy. Well, Tracy then matched Jenelle with Tracy's younger brother, Billy Payne. After getting to know Billy, Jenelle seems to like Billy. But it looks like Billy is just normal. And consider her like a friend. But Billy still likes being friends with Jenelle, because as far as Jenelle knows, Billy is single. Yes, it seems like Jenelle secretly likes to tease Billy, until finally Billy says he already have a girl and intends to marry her. Billy's girl's name is Billie Jean. Wow, Billy is such a match. And Jenelle even told Billy, "Oh, it's okay, just relax. We're still friends, okay?" But her heart was devastated, shattered into pieces. Jenelle even said that she added Billie Jean's Facebook account. They then became friends on Facebook. Also, one day Billie and Billie Jean got married and Jenelle was also invited. They even got together several times and it seemed like Jenelle still liked Billie, liked hanging on Billie's body. He even said he almost kissed Billie in front of Billie Jean's. According to Tracy, Billie's older brothers are Billie Payne and Billie Jean. It's a pity to see Jenelle, who is single and lonely, who still wants to chase Billie. But maybe Jenelle has a lot of ambition, and feels that her beauty will make Billie fall in love with her, and make Billie Jean jealous until finally mid-2011. Billie and Billie Jean were blessed with children. Then it was said that Billie had matched Jenelle with his cousin Billie. His cousin's name is Jamie Cudd. Well, Jamie is actually a widower and is over 40 years old. Works for a computer repair company. However, it seems like Jenelle's parents don't really like Jamie getting close to their daughter. Jenelle's parents hope they are just friends. Don't date. Even though it is known that Jamie is in love with Jenelle. And they met several times in secret. Shania Studio is a channel of crime stories from around the world. Please like and subscribe this channel if you like our criminal stories. Thank you. And at the end of 2011 it was said that there was an account that often threatened and insulted Jenelle on Facebook. So it's like a fake account. It's called Anonymous. Without a name, and the account also doesn't have a profile photo. His words were quite harsh. He wrote on his Facebook wall all kinds of physical insults. Even the general's mother, Barbara, whose mother also happens to have a Facebook account. Until she asked Anonymous for help to stop insulting Jenelle and stay away from her. But it still looks like she was insulted. Then if Jenelle felt at that time, it was probably Billie Jean who did it, who said maybe she was jealous of Jenelle. In fact, a few days later it was said that one morning, a stone was thrown at Jenelle's house by someone unknown. At that time, Jenelle said it happened while she was having breakfast, and her parents were still sleeping. Finally they saw the rock, which they said had Billie Payne's name on it. Finally, her father, Buddy, called the police and reported the stone throwing incident, as well as several insults and threats that Jenelle received on Facebook. According to Jenelle, the one who threw the stone was also Billie Jean, and the impression was that she wanted to slander her own husband, namely Billie Payne. In fact, when interviewed by the police, Jenelle said she was sure it was Billie Jean's doing, because Billie Jean was jealous of Jenelle's perfect beauty. In fact, at that time the police couldn't arrest Billie or Billie Jean because in stone, the only thing they had was the police's fingerprints and Jenelle's fingerprints, who were already in the stone. Then there were no Billie's fingerprints and there were no witnesses either, who saw them at the location at the time of the incident. A few days later the father, Buddy, got an email from someone named Chris, and there was also a profile photo in the email. Chris said he was a secret agent of the CIA, who had worked for the state for decades. The content of the email is quite long, but in essence, Chris told Buddy that Billie and Billie Jean were actually targets for CIA's arrest for being cruel to a woman. So Billie and Billie Jean are said to have bullied a woman on the internet. Until finally the woman who was being bullied jumped from a building and died. Well, this is also what Billie and Billie Jean would do to Jenelle, said Chris from CIA. It's possible that they bullied and also insulted Jenelle on Facebook so that Jenelle would get stressed and take her own life. You have to be careful, he said, because Jenelle is their next victim. Even the mother, Barbara, said that she had emailed Christ and asked for his opinion on what the solution would be. What's the proof? Anonymous on Facebook who often insults Jenelle is Billy. For a week, she said, she exchanged emails, Chris to Barbara, and also to Buddy. Until one night, Jenelle confided in her mother that she was sad that she was unfriending Billy Payne and Billie Jane. So Billy and his wife said they deleted Jenelle from their friends list on Facebook. This was known to both parents, who at that time were quite emotional, and felt that maybe this was what Agent CIA said. Billy and his wife tried to make Jenelle sad, tormented and desperate. Until one night, the 31st of January, 2012, 911 received a call from someone who stated that there had been a shooting at their neighbor's house. The police said they immediately came to the house reported by residents, and that house is Billy Payne's house. Police found Billy dead in his living room, in a pool of his own blood, with a gunshot wound to his face. Then the police said they went to the room to check and found Billie Jean also dead in a pool of her own blood, with a gunshot wound to her head. And there was an 8-month-old baby in her arms crying. The baby is still safe. Surprisingly, the house was very clean of foreign fingerprints and DNA. A very perfect, clean murder, and possibly carried out by someone very skilled. It could be by agency CIA. Even though from the perspective of this crime it was perfect, the crime scene was clean of DNA and also the perpetrator's fingerprints. Even though from the perspective of this crime it was perfect, the crime scene was clean of DNA and also the perpetrator's fingerprints. However, it turns out that this doesn't necessarily happen out there. What does this mean? It could be that the victim's blood or fingerprints were carried by the perpetrator. This story actually has a very twist ending. The ending was unexpected, because a few days after carrying out an investigation, the police arrested Jamie, Jenelle's illegal lover, because in the car and also some of the clothes found, there were files of Billy Payne's blood. Jamie apparently also had several firearms. However, after investigation, none of them matched the bullets in Billy's or his wife's wounds. But he's not a detective, otherwise he can make criminals open their mouths. Even though initially Jamie admitted he didn't know anything. Jamie finally admitted that this was all Jenelle's father's doing, namely Buddy, and Jamie only helped provide weapons and drove the car to take Buddy to Billy's house that night. But what Jamie was surprised about was that the murder of Billy and his wife should have been on the police agenda too. Jamie received information from Buddy that they killed Billy and his wife, because this was a target for the CIA and also the police. Because according to the email Chris gave, Billy and his wife have a criminal record of internet bullying, so they both want to be killed by CIA and the police. Even when Buddy was interviewed, he said this was an instruction that was in accordance with the results of the investigation, that Billy and his wife were among the police's targets for elimination. Due to various crimes of insulting and bullying women on the internet, including insulting Jenelle, the Buddy's daughter. The police were immediately shocked and didn't believe what Buddy was saying. And finally a raid was carried out at Buddy's house, and they got the gun that was used to shoot Billy and his wife. Until finally in October 2013, Buddy was tried and sentenced to life imprisonment for double murder without being allowed to be released on bail. Meanwhile, Jamie, who admitted he didn't know anything, still received a 25-year prison sentence as a party who assisted in the preparation of the murder. Does the case stop there? Of course not, brothers. It turned out that in the end, the police traced the anonymous Facebook account, which had insulted Jenelle. Do you know who did it? It's true that Jenelle did it herself to slander Billie Jean. And a witness finally admitted to seeing Jenelle herself throwing rocks at her house that morning. A rock with Billie's name on it. Then he said the police arrested Jenelle for further information. Because it seems like this could refer to who Christ from CIA actually told Buddy and Jamie to kill Billie and his wife Billie Jean. The name is also very sophisticated nowadays. The email is very easy to track where it comes from. Even the email IP address can be obtained directly. Once again, it is true that Jenelle, who pretended to be a secret agent for Christ from CIA, made up all kinds of stories, in the end of which she hoped that her father would end the lives of Billie and Billie Jean. Meanwhile, Barbara's mother actually knew from the start that Jenelle was the mastermind behind everything. The mother also finally persuaded Buddy to kill Billie and his wife. Until finally in May 2015, Jenelle Potter and her mother, Barbara, were tried on charges of being the mastermind behind all the crimes in this case. They were both sentenced to life imprisonment, without parole. And Jenelle's only motive is that she loves Billie Payne and is jealous of Billie Jean, while her mother Barbara's motive is because she loves her daughter and wants to eliminate Billie and his wife because they rejected Jenelle's love. Jenelle even used a man's photo for the email profile of Christ, a CIA agent, who was present at the trial. Turns out he was Jenelle's high school friend. And the photo was taken from Facebook. His name also happens to be the same as Christ. But he's not a CIA agent. Who do you think is the most guilty here? Did the father just shoot the mother who protects her daughter? Or Jenelle, who mostly fantasizes, pretends to be beautiful, but is disappointed because her love was rejected by Billie? Comment below if you like this video. Don't forget to click the like and share buttons. For those who are visiting for the first time, or you often stop by but haven't subscribed, don't forget to click the subscribe button first, and also turn on the notifications, so that next time, for example, I upload a new video, you will be the first to know. And don't forget to watch all my other videos. Keep doing good and stay healthy, thank you.